Howdy.
Howdy ho.
What you
Ooh.
call me?
You heard me.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Hi, everyone. Welcome to Non-Perishable Goods Podcast. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, my goodness. So, you know, what's up? Dahmer
another
Vibes.
another Dahmer movie comes
Okay,
out. Jesus Christ.
dude. So, I don't know. I remember hearing about Jeffrey Dahmer, but I never really paid attention to the story. Like
What?
I just knew that he ate people. That's all
That's
I
not,
knew.
that's not,
I'm not gonna lie.
that's not okay.
So I'm excited that they have the Dahmer show. Or
You're excited?
well, maybe not excited, but I do like thrillers. I do like
Oh,
documentaries
true
like that are
crime
real
stuff.
life, you know? And like I actually watched Dahmer on Netflix because personally, I was like, because sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit naive of how people are.
And it's
But
like
I
six shows, right? It's like
huh?
six shows.
You mean episodes?
Yeah,
Or you
episodes.
mean, yeah. There's a lot. There was quite,
Yeah.
I want to say it was 10.
And this one's supposed to be intricate more than my friend Dahmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I actually watched another one. It was on the ID channel on demand, and it was just an hour episode. And then there's like another Dahmer show on Oxygen. Like there's so many, like, why were people so fascinated with him? But let me say this real quick. Like I wanted to watch it because like I feel like I need to like be a little bit more wise and I felt like maybe it would give me some discernment on like what's going on out here. And I was hoping that it wasn't too gory, and it was actually really good. Like I think they did a great job with this series as far as telling the story, because the one I watched today, if I feel like they made all of those episodes off of this one 1 hour special, and they like covered everything. And I'm sure there's
Mm-hmm.
a book on him about the whole situation, which is even more detailed, probably.
His dad wrote a book,
Yeah. So that's why I'm just like the
and then
Dahmer.
his friend wrote a book too.
Yeah, like on Netflix, it was really thorough and it like touched on a lot of stuff. It touched on a lot of stuff. But why are you like over it? Because it's just
Cause dude, how
played
many
out?
docs? Yeah, he's interviews are all over the place. Like his victims are still crying. Like, I mean, he's a serial killer, man. It's like, and then it's like how many? It's like Marilyn Monroe. And you just have Blonde come out. Like, how many stories do we need from Marilyn Monroe from a different view? And then we got movies, docs, dude. There's other stories out there, right?
Yeah, but
Jesus Christ.
right. No, I get it. I totally get it. But I do think, so I heard something the other day. The best, or the people who tell the story, are the ones with the printing press. So sometimes, or the people who win the war, like there's different like sayings about, whoever has the money, the resources, they'll tell that story from that perspective. So I mean, it could be somebody else who got more in-depth knowledge of the situation and made it more detailed.
First of all, this is an Oscar grab, just like Blonde is for Anna de Armas. It's an Oscar grab for what's his name, Evan. That's all it is, because Netflix is hurting and they want redemption with some Oscars because they had a whole bunch of shows that were boo boo. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Is retell a story that everybody knows. So you tell a story about icons that people know, like Ted Bundy and Dahmer and Monroe. Then you didn't even tell the accurate story. You change things because you want to. It's like you don't even tell the right story.
So you're saying it wasn't accurate? But you didn't even watch it, did you?
Like there's like Nisi's character, she wasn't in the building, she was in the next building.
Oh, really?
Like why is she in the building? Why like what's the like what
She smelled it. She smelled that funk
yeah,
from.
so you can have that part of it. It's like
It was
we
like
all
slightly
know the
exaggerated.
story.
No, we don't all know the
Well,
story.
you don't because you're under a rock, but I know like most of the story. Why am I gonna watch this again?
Right. But it's really interesting that a lot of people aren't very enthusiastic about another Dahmer or about this show in particular because, of all the things that Dahmer represented. And like for me, the biggest thing,
For me,
like, sorry, Dahmer, like there's so many things that this has left me with. Like I pretty much knocked it out in a week. But like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, like I was into it and I don't really know why, but like it was a good it wasn't a good story, but the way that they told the story, it was interesting to me. It was interesting.
Do you watch Mindhunter?
No, what's that?
Oh, you should watch Mindhunter.
Is it about serial killers?
It is, but it's about these two detectives who are changing the way that they find uh, serial killers and explain why they do the things they do. It's like the evolution of like evidence, using evidence and forensics and all that stuff. It's like the building. So and then they use, I don't know if they use like real life people or use adaptations of a real life, of
Situation.
killers and murders and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best shows on Netflix, dude.
Interesting. Mindhunter.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
love that
no,
show.
yeah, interesting. Like, no, because that's what got me. It's like, why did he do this? And I think that's what kept me interested in like I want to like for me, I try to understand everything and I wanted to know like what possesses a person to do this, you know? But then it like led me to know and to understand that there's a lot of people out here who are just off, who are sane, but they know right from wrong, but they're just have like a craving for some sort of pleasure. And we talk about that a lot on this podcast is like pleasure and like people's wanting to feel pleasure, crave pleasure in any form or fashion. Like they just have to have pleasure. And that's kind of what to me was Dahmer's thing is that he wanted to have his pleasure quenched and it was a little quirky.
Yeah, but he was also young, and then he got away with his like first murder. So imagine, like I used to steal, and when I got away with it the first time, it was just like a high. So every time I would go somewhere, I became like a kleptomaniac. I had to steal something. I would steal anything, and if I didn't want anything, I just stole just to steal.
To
You
see if
know,
you can get away with it.
yeah, and I always did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean,
And you never got caught.
I got caught one time, and that was the last time I stole.
Hmm. But
But it
see,
wasn't on me. It was my friend who got caught, and I was just associated.
mhm.
And I really didn't have anything. I didn't steal anything. I was going to. I had intention, but they didn't know that.
Right,
I
right,
just
right.
got we just got caught, because of my friend. He got caught.
Right. So I mean, there's a couple things there, like the idea of pleasure and then also the idea of doing something that's kind of taboo or rebellious and
Yeah,
not getting caught.
the dopamine rush of not getting caught. Yeah, caught. Yes. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
But
So,
imagine being Dahmer and he didn't kill after his first kill. I mean, he would have he would have been one of those guys who got away with murder,
All right.
and he would, and then that would have been it. But he's fighting a demon of being homosexual and probably trying to please his dad, and then having a pleasure, uh, and maybe an embarrassment of that pleasure, and having trouble embracing it. So he's like fighting demons and at the same time committing crimes because he's killing people.
Yeah, he was kind of like trying to suppress who he really was. And
Yeah, because society is telling you, no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
and especially where he was living and, his family was religious. I think he definitely he just, I don't know, something. Well, he even said it was like a voice or something telling him, or a craving or a feeling, which was
Yeah.
very
I mean,
weird.
yeah, I had a
I mean,
voice.
yeah, but sometimes the voices in our head aren't right.
I'm saying that voice is like telling me to steal. That voice is telling me to shoot. That voice is telling me to fight, right?
So what is that though? What do you think
It's
that
like
is?
it's your intuition. It's that one side that's like you can get away with this, and then and then the other side is like I don't know, and it's like oh fuck it, let's just go, and then you do it. Like that's your inner self telling you you can do this or not.
Well, why does people's like inner voice tell them to do bad things? Like why doesn't that inner voice tell them, "Oh, go go walk on a cloud or go take a walk or go play with
Walk on a cloud.
bunnies." I don't know. I'm just saying, like, why doesn't I wonder, I'm just thinking out loud, like, why is that always that inner voice telling us things that we shouldn't necessarily do?
Because the high is worth the risk. It's like why do people gamble? Like why do they gamble till they put the house on the bet?
Well,
They
because you
put
think
their
you're gonna
car on the
win.
bet. Yeah,
Yeah, you
but
think
it's
you're
the
gonna
high
win.
too. Like you're chasing that high. Because if you do win, you get more. You get your house back, and then you get more, right?
Yeah.
So it's
It's,
like,
it's a
but
chemical then. It's some kind of
you can call it whatever you want. You can call
chemical.
it inner voice. You can call it angel. You can call it the devil. You can call it your spine or your spleen or your kidneys talking to you. But it's like an inner voice telling you like it's just the high. You're chasing the high.
Is it audible?
Yes. Well, not to you.
No,
To
but to the
me,
person.
yeah.
So it's like a real, like you could actually hear like something.
Dude, I'm in Safeway and I'm like reading the comic, and then my voice is telling me, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you reading it here? Take it." And I'm like, "Nah." And they're like, "Well, you stole those baseball cards like yesterday. Why aren't you taking them?"
Damn, this is wild.
I don't know. And then I steal the comic book. It's like what? You
Wow.
know what I mean? I haven't. I also believe in frontal lobe development, and you don't. It's like you don't. To me, you probably haven't. Not you, but general like a person like that hasn't owned enough things. It's like if I steal, right? I don't own a store. So I've never had somebody steal from my store. So I don't have empathy for a store. But if I did own it, let's say my parents own the store and I'm a kid and I'm trying to hang out with my dad, and then I see somebody steal something from our store. This is our store. This is how we paying the rent. And I see how my dad feels when somebody does that. Dang, somebody stole again, man. This is the sixth time this, and I see my dad all sad and shit and upset. I probably won't steal because I'm like, I don't want that feeling to ever. I don't want to be on that other side, and I don't want anybody to feel that way too because I respect my dad so much, and he's doing this for us. This is our store. It might be mine when he retires, right? But I don't have that empathy. I don't have anything. I'm free, right? So I could do whatever I want. So I can steal, I can kill, I could be violent, or I can be just subtle and cool and liberal and chill, or I can walk out butt naked, or I could do drugs, or I could do whatever. Are there repercussions? Yes, everything. Walking out inside naked, that's indecent exposure. Doing, killing somebody, that's a crime. That's murder. Like, I'm going to go to jail. That's the repercussions, right? But in the beginning, as a man, as a boy, I'm not thinking about that. I'm chasing the high. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've been in I haven't been in enough fights. I haven't been beat down enough to say I'm not going to get in fight with this bigger guy, this 6 foot guy with muscles, because the last time I did get in the fight, I did get fucked up, but I'm okay. So I'm gonna keep doing it. But if I get stabbed or get in the hospital and almost die, maybe I'll think twice the next time, or maybe I'll just take kung fu. You know what I'm saying? I have to learn from my mistakes and stuff. But it does, for some people it takes many mistakes to finally say, "Dang, maybe I should stop."
Yeah, but
Until prison, and then I'll never be able to do it again, or I'll just kill in prison.
right. But like in Dahmer's case, he stopped for a long time because he knew it was wrong. He didn't want to be that way. He wanted to change. He wanted God to intercede and help him. But he continued to kill. Like
After
that
a while,
dopamine,
though,
yeah, but that dopamine or that thrill or that pleasure seeking, his sexual pleasure seeking was stronger than anything, you
I,
know?
I think that's what
I
happened
think
with.
all rationale, like it was
I think that's
just
what
out
happened
of
with
here.
Gary Macy, Gary
Oh,
Lacey,
the Gacy guy, John
the
Wayne Gacy.
John, yeah, the clown guy. I think he did some because he was fighting his gay demons too, right?
I'm not
So
sure
yeah,
of
he
his
was.
stories.
So, but I think he did something. I don't know if he killed somebody or whatever and then he chilled for a little while, and then he did the same thing. He started like killing, kids and stuff like that. Uh, back to back. Before like a while, he took a break. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, maybe it's tiring to to kill. You take a
Yeah.
break.
But he was like feeding, I don't know, they were just feeding something that's within them. Just kept
Yeah, they
going.
rush that high, that
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 serial, what makes him a
impulse.
serial killer. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like an impulse. It's like I need to. I have a desire, like you said, pleasure. Like I find the dopamine hit is pleasure, right? It's like that's why we have sex. That's why we want,
Yeah.
to have sex. It's like we want to feel that pleasure again. We want to come all over again. So we want to try different things now because we got away with it like three, four,
Yeah.
5 times.
And he
Now we
was
want to
like,
you know, somebody's drill a hole in somebody's head and pour acid in it to make them zombies or some shit. You know what I mean? Like we
yeah.
started trying to do different things.
But yeah, and that's what he did. He like experimented, which is a whole trip to me, but like, wow. Yeah. He was different. He was a weird one. But like, I just feel like in this world, like this made it very clear to me that people are just off. Like this whole weekend we were out and saw like little weird interactions, and I would just be like Dahmer vibes and we would know exactly what that meant because like some people are just really clearly off, dude. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Like it made sense though. It did make sense. Like now that I like out in the world, like people are just Dahmer vibes.
The sad thing about it is anybody, right, has the potential to start wilding out, right, to do something like that, to be a serial killer, to be a serial whatever. Some people uh pacify it with sex, some people pacify it with food, some people pacify it with hobbies and
Which
Xbox and
all lead
PlayStation.
to pleasure, everything.
Yeah,
All
so
those
it's
things are
distraction.
tied to
So
pleasure.
imagine if Dahmer had like a PlayStation. Maybe he wouldn't be killing. Maybe he just be focusing on. Maybe he'd be killing on PlayStation, and that would suffice. And then be gay, and then have sex with
Yeah.
random guys.
What I thought was kind of interesting too is that there was like a lot of the name. There's actual names, like there's actual scientific names for some of his quirkiness, like how he liked to see like men, I guess it's a behavioral thing. They like to see shiny. They like to see shiny things. So that's why lingerie is, silky or satiny, or like men like to see women oiled up, like it's like a visceral visual thing. Like it's the men like that. And so that's why he was turned on by people's organs, because I guess in your organs are shiny or something, which was kind of weird. And then the other thing is there's an actual name for him like wanting that mannequin to just hold and cuddle. Like that's an actual, there's a scientific term for that too. So there's more people like him in this world, but I think more people I don't know. I really don't know, but they know how to suppress whatever they felt. Like his father was even saying, um, he had, when he was a kid, he had feelings of wanting to murder people. Was that what his dad,
Or
his
just
issue
cause
was?
violence.
Yeah, he like wanted to
Because it
hurt
showed like
people.
him hiding in the bushes with a bat, waiting for somebody to come by, but nobody would come by. But he just wanted to hit somebody with the bat.
Yeah, but so his dad had those feelings, but his dad grew out of it and got help, I guess. And so he was hoping that same thing for his son, but his son, nobody helped him, or not even his dad was there for him to talk and to get these feelings out. So I don't know, man. It's
Yeah, just
just,
so I mean, imagine now being in the modern world and how like a lot of men aren't dealing with women or having luck with women. I mean, we're going to have like a bunch of guys committing crimes and shit.
or
Because
suicide.
because to me stopping my business was probably due to VJJ. I think VJJ saved my life.
Hmm. Now that's an interesting turn of events here.
So imagine if being gay was normal across the board, right?
And he was
Like,
able to
and he was
openly.
able, yes. And the dad was like, "Oh, you, who cares? Like, do your thing." Mom was like, "Oh, cool. You know, my son's gay." You know, nobody cared, right? It was normal. There would be no serial killing, but because
In
you're
his case, in
in
his
his
case,
case, because
yeah.
he's suppressing this feeling, and he's like, he feels guilty in the beginning, and but because he got away with it and was doing it more and more and more, now it's just like it was like whatever now. But in the beginning, there's nothing suppressing it. It's him suppressing it. He's not getting any help. What
Yeah.
suppressed my kleptomaniacism or whatever you want to call it is because girls started noticing me and then I started sucking on titties.
You're stupid. You have no sense. But I mean, you're being honest. I know you're being honest. And so,
So
like,
thank you to all the women out there who let me suck on their titties. I you
you saved
saved
him. You
you
saved him
saved my
from
life.
jail and prison,
Yes,
a life of grand larceny,
could
and
have been a serial
that's,
killer.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
why am I
we
doing
might
that?
have to delve into that a little bit further,
Yeah, why
because
am I committing crimes and doing it? Like my dopamine rush
it just went to
is
something
getting
else.
these
It
women.
went to something else though.
Yeah,
That dopamine hit
it
went,
sure did.
it went to the titties.
Sent to them beautiful nipples,
He was serial sucking.
them areolas.
He's hella dumb. I can't even stand you. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
women saved my life. Thank you, everyone, every one of you. I love every one of you.
We just figured it out, you guys. We could end the show right now. Like I
I
am no
cured
longer
Dahmer.
confusion. I have no longer confusion. I am no longer confusion.
You got to
Like,
think about all the vices that you had, the negative vices that you have, right? There are vices there because you were running on a dopamine hit, right? Let's say you eat a lot, like sweets, like that sugar is a hit, right? Because you're like,
Or
I
food just
need
tastes
that
good.
sweet. You know, I'm talking. Well, I'm trying to be specific, but yeah, sure. I mean, generally, yeah, food. But let's say you liked, you know,
Chocolate.
chocolate cream pie. You know what I mean? I love chocolate cream pie, but I can't eat it all the time. I want to, but I can't. But I'm older now because I know that it's, you know, diabetes, high blood pressure, all that stuff. But when I was younger, could I eat a whole dang cream pie? Yeah, hell yeah. In one setting, I would, because my metabolism was kicking, right? But
Right,
now I
right,
know I
right.
can't. I learned, but my rush was the sweetness. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was full, I'd be like, I still gotta eat. It's still good.
It all comes down to chemicals. Like people are chemically imbalanced
Yeah, so you
or
grow. I do believe the frontal lobe hasn't developed to what, till 25, right? So
mm,
you're just fucking stupid. You do stupid
yes,
shit. We're
yes.
impulsive. We fight. We fuck. We go places we ain't supposed to. We our pride, our dignity, like, you know what I mean. We have all this, especially for men. We have this machismo. We have to prove to other people and ourselves that we can do it, or, you know, we're man enough or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because of social constructs and all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, we're running on
Your
full tank all the
experiences,
time, and then we want, yeah, we want to experience stuff. So
like your
imagine
experiences are shaping you.
imagine Dahmer kills that one guy, that hitchhiker or whatever. He's running on a high for 5 years, but is it 5 years? But during those years, what is he doing? He's working. He's being normal, right? But then in the
For the
back, he's
most
like,
part,
but it's like, dude, I got away with murder. Like, what am I doing in the in between time? I'm experimenting sexually. You know, doing things probably in the meantime with men or and by myself. I'm watching TV. I'm watching Exorcist or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm watching all these horror movies. I'm stimulating myself. Then I'm like, you know what? I got away with that. Let me see if I can do it again.
yeah. But didn't something trigger him the second time? I'm trying to think what happened. I can't remember. But um, yeah.
Yeah, so then he tries with the louse kid, or what, his neighbor, gets caught, right? Does some time. So now he knows there's a consequence, right? Because it didn't go smoothly this time, right? That's part of the high, right? Because maybe jail wasn't so bad, you know, gay man in jail, you know, maybe it wasn't so hard. So he can do the time. It's nothing. Give me 3 years, three more. I don't, it doesn't matter to me, right? You know, edit on judge. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So there's a consequence, but now he's running on that high. You know what I'm saying? Because when he got caught and it was over, there's nothing. There's no crying. There's no damn it.
Because he wanted to get caught. He wanted to finally put it into who he was. Because, like, I don't know how accurate the show was, but he basically the cops just walked right in. He didn't like try to hide or clean anything up. Like he had blood everywhere. He had knives everywhere, pools, jugs of acid. Like this guy was crazy.
because he because he
He
knew
was
what he was
wild.
doing was wrong. Everybody who does think, you know, if you rob somebody, if you steal, that's the same thing. If you kill somebody, if you know, RAPE somebody or SA somebody, sexual assault somebody, you know you're doing wrong. You know what I mean? With him, it's not different, but his demeanor, his candor is different because he's just waiting. There's no fucks given because he doesn't care about the consequences. He's aware of
Mm-mm.
the consequences. He's been through the consequence before. So
And he
it
got
doesn't
away with
matter.
a lot. Like
Yeah.
his nobody really held him super accountable. Like even some of the judges were like, "Oh, you're a good kid." Like a lot of people just didn't want to accept or believe that this man was the killer that he was, which was really interesting to me too,
I
though.
mean, but yeah, but even prior to even going through the court process, getting caught during that process. There's no, you know, unhand me, uncuff me. There's just like,
He
yep,
just took it. Yeah. He just took it.
get me off these streets. I'm
Yeah.
crazy, or I'm gonna kill again.
Yeah. But then, and he was so, I don't know if he was strategic, but he knew how to lie to the people closest to him to keep getting away with
Yeah,
everything. Like, I'm
it's
like,
part of the
even,
game.
yeah, like even his dad, like knowing his medical history or his psychiatric history, and like he was like in straight denial of what his son was doing or something. Like he lied to him every single time he was charged, arrested, or whatever. He lied to his grandma. His grandma believed him. Like, like he just got away with murder like hella times, hella times.
Could be the
You know?
glasses.
Huh? What'd you say?
It could be the glasses.
And then, and I mean, a lot of people were saying that he was, attractive and he just was so nice and you wouldn't think that he would do anything like that, you know? But he had, I don't know. I don't
Those
want to
are the
make it,
worst ones.
yeah, like I don't
Quiet,
want
the
to make,
quiet ones.
yeah, I don't want to make it like a race thing, but I feel like white men could get away with murder. White men get away with a lot of stuff. Like if he was a black man, like he wouldn't have been able to get away with half that stuff. He would be in jail forever
I think
after
it's their
he's
location too, because I think if he did that in LA, I think cops would be like, "This motherfucker's weird. Let's take him in and question him." Whereas opposed to Wisconsin, they're like, "This white dude is weird, and I think he's gay. I'm
right.
not
Let
gonna
me let
touch
me
it.
stay away. Yeah, let
Let me
me
get away.
yeah. But
Get
see, I mean,
out of
this was
here."
in the 90s. This was in the 90s.
Yeah, and
So
and if you're in LA and you're like that, and you're a weird white dude, tall, glasses, and goofy looking, you're a suspect because there's movies about you. So if I'm a cop and I think you did something, I'm gonna take you in and question you. I'm not gonna let you go.
yeah, but
Your boyfriend's running around here butt naked. No, bro, we're going to the precinct. Come on, you and the naked boyfriend.
yeah. Well, Wisconsin, they're probably a little slow and they just
No,
didn't
they don't. They're homophobic. Those
yeah,
two cops were
that
homophobic.
yeah, and they didn't want to deal with none of
Yeah,
that.
he naked. Okay, you guys had a fight. Okay, I don't want his dangling hanging out. Hey, go back
But
and
he and Dahmer knew that because he used that a lot. He was like, "Oh, we're just, homosexuals, just doing homosexual things." Like he knew he was strategic. He knew why he did
yeah. So mentally, there's
and
a win
said
for him because he embraced his homosexuality. Because now he's like out in the
when
open.
it was to strangers and when it was necessary to like play whoever he was playing.
Right. So there's
But he never came out to his family
then there's
ever.
another high, right? It's like to
I
strangers,
lied and I got away with it.
I lied, I got away with it, and I'm openly gay.
Hmm.
Like there's two wins, two W's right there. Now, and then another one's gonna come when I get away with murder. You know what I mean? So all this high, oh my god, like it's like ecstasy and MDMA and cocaine and heroin. Oh my lord! Like why would I stop? Why? I'm invincible.
Dopamine is a hell of a drug, for real. Or whatever these chemicals are going on in our bodies. Like if you have too much of this or too little of that, like it could really, I think, mess you up.
Yeah, and plus the process of you living and your experiences, everything you do, all the people you meet, your location, like it all is part of your development as an individual. And his history and his genes and his parents and his environment shaped him.
Yeah, because that childhood was a little rough, if you ask me, too. And having to see your mom go through seizures and take hiccup pills to just be regular, like I think that had a lot to do with it. And the dad, like I didn't understand, was the dad a taxidermist? Like, why did the dad have those skills where they would go get roadkill and like
Because
slice them
it's
up.
a hobby, wasn't it? Just like it's just a hobby.
It was just his dad's hobby too.
But plus is like, plus yeah, it's plus is like whenever your dad, whenever when you're a son, a boy, a male, and your dad is showing you something, and you're learning something from your dad. That's like bro time. That's like the best time. So he's probably doing that to the guys to get that sense back. Because
A
because
time,
every
a good
every
feeling
because
that he had.
every time I think about my dad, like him teaching me how to change a tire or showing me how, helping him put the lights up, like I'm helping my dad. Like that's a good
Yeah.
time.
People hold
That's
on
a
to,
bonding time that I needed as a
yeah,
man, as a boy to a man. And a lot of men don't get that.
and you hold on to it.
And I hold on to it and I crave it and I wish to do it. Or even when, I date girls and they have, their sons and I bond with their sons and we're doing like, playing catch or football or whatever. Like that's a bonding time that we have together as men. You know what I mean? And they're not going to forget that. And I'm not going to forget it either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, I guess at that point they weren't in Ohio. So it's probably something you do. Is it like hunting country?
It's like
Maybe it's,
woodsy over there.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
like
maybe
trees and
it
shit.
was a little bit more common. It seems kind of weird to somebody like us,
I think
but,
it's weird.
or I mean, to me, like living in California, but it's a probably hunter's culture. And he just took it to the next level.
Yeah, I mean it's a hobby. Taxidermy, yeah, that's just a hobby.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, exactly. Like people out there in the Midwest, they have all those moose heads and,
Mm-hmm.
owls, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't ever think about doing that. I don't need a deer head hanging from my wall.
Yeah, like you'd have to be a special kind of person. Because even like I remember in, I don't know, sixth grade, you dissect the frog and the cow eye, and like it was gross and it stunk.
I never did that.
Yeah, and
I did it
it's
on my own time. Actually, I had a kit and they had a frog in there, and I did it myself without any without any class. Because I was like,
really.
man, we don't get to dissect nothing. I want to dissect something.
You have acid? Do you have
You
acid
have
too?
acid? No, you can't have acid. That's illegal.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah,
No,
I guess I could make acid.
I'm just messing with you.
You get the hydrochloride.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, sorry. Everything's on the internet, on Google. Just Google it. How to make acid.
No, but yeah, no, ugh, I don't know. Oh, that's what I was
Okay.
gonna say. The smell, like, how could he live? Like, that's a little bit off to me too. Was he just used to the smell? Did he not? Because you know how if you're around something that has an odor, like you don't necessarily smell it, but like when you leave and you come back, you can smell it.
Yeah, like
But
imagine living in Lodi or Tracy, and you gotta,
right,
live it with the cow poop. Now you're not gonna like now it doesn't affect you anymore because you smell it every day.
all the time.
Yeah, so it's like it's yeah. So yeah,
'Cause I was just
same
like,
thing.
dude, like you just did not care. Like you just
Because right now, even with poop or like a dead uh like animal smell, which is kind of like this, which is the same, right? For me right now, it's still putrid. I had a dead lizard in the back by the trash, and I smelled it, and I'm just like, oh, I'm never gonna get used to that smell. So it's
yeah.
but I knew it was the smell of death, right? So I knew I looked for the body and I found it and I buried it, but like I know it's still putrid to me, so I'm not used to that. You know what I'm saying? The skunk smell, like I knew there's a skunk nearby because you that smell, but it doesn't affect me though. You know what I mean? Because I've smelled the skunk smell all my life. You know what I mean? Boo boo smell. It's like I smell boo boo, but it's like I've smelled boo boo all my life, so it's like it doesn't affect me as much.
Okay. Ooh. Bruh.
You just get the
Oh,
boot. You just get the dookie face. You're like, damn, boo boo. That's it, right? But you
yeah,
still, it still stay with you. But you're like, it's still more passive than like a dead body. Like you smell a dead body, like, damn, I gotta get out of here. Some people throw up.
yeah,
Some people throw up to a dead body smell. Some people throw up to like real bad boo boo smell. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It just depends on you personally. But for me, it doesn't affect me that much.
And I can't believe he did that to his grandma, like his neighbors, like everybody just had to deal with that smell. It's like, bro, no, you did not just, your refrigerator did not go out. Like nobody's meat smells that bad in the fridge. Like even if it did go out.
I
I
mean,
mean,
death is different. Even with like rancid meat, like it's just it's a different
yeah,
smell.
exactly. Like
So I'm
he,
just like, Grandma, you never smelled a dead cat or like a dog or a lizard or somebody with blood with like red blood, like that's just weird. You think it's rancid? What did he say? Was it rancid meat? What do you think? What do you think it
yeah,
was?
that's what he was telling
I mean, it
him.
was
And
technically
right, exactly. And people were really just, okay, all right. But
because of how he looked.
a little docile little man.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think he
think
had
he
like a
was
little.
slightly attractive, though.
Sorry?
I think people felt like he was attractive. And I saw a picture of him, and I got him mixed up with Charles Manson.
Oh,
Charles
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 Manson.
Manson, he's the one with the not the swastika
Yeah,
on
and
his.
he's short.
Yeah, so I was like, so I was just like, oh, he's yeah, this is not that guy.
Yeah, the same thing happened with Ted Bundy when he was in court and he was representing himself, and the judge was like, "Man, you really you know how to articulate, and, whatever. If it wasn't, if it didn't, could if it wasn't for your crimes, you could become a lawyer." But the judge said that
Right.
because
Like,
the
and I,
boy's handsome
yeah,
and he's
exactly.
articulate, and
Exactly.
so is
Like
Dahmer. Dahmer is not an idiot. He knows how to talk. He knows how to talk.
he's a manipulator. He was a manipulator for sure. But I was just so blown away also like how much protection he received and like how he received fans from this and like, just I, it
Girls
was
like bad boys.
it's just mind-boggling. But he's not a
Once
bad boy.
again, yes, he is.
He's a serial killer. There's a difference. Like
The bad boy.
that's like a supreme bad boy.
Yeah,
But
girls like
he
that.
literally
Girls
had
like that.
fans.
Girls like that Rodriguez dude who was killing people in L.A. out here, right?
Right. I mean, a lot of people,
Girls
infamous
like Ted
people,
Bundy
yeah,
when he
a
was
lot of,
killing women.
yeah, like people, like what is that? What is that?
Did you watch the Ted Bundy files on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
There's a documentary, and then there's the Zac Efron, who's a perfect Ted Bundy because he's also a handsome gentleman. So it's like, yeah, you should watch those.
Hmm.
You should watch the doc first.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I just don't get it. It's crazy. Like how
You don't get what?
people like how people are fans of somebody so infamous.
Because it's not personal, and again,
But how do you
women
worship that person?
women like bad boys. They like the danger. They like the possibility of changing him. They like they love the fact that he's in jail. I can't. He's untouchable. Like you
So
want
they
things.
just don't have
You
any
want
idea.
things that you can't have.
So they just don't care that he killed
No, because it's
19
none of
people.
their people that they know.
But how do they know that he may not kill you?
They don't. That's the thrill of it. Again, we're chasing the dopamine high.
I don't know. See, Dahmer vibes. People are
This is
just off.
human. This is human traits here.
Like literally, people are just off. Like I have to chop it up at like a lot of things that I've experienced in my
You have to
lifetime.
chop it up. No pun intended.
Oh, right. Yeah. You just gotta chop it up. Like
What do you
it's
mean? Chop it up to what?
that people are really just off. Like you can't even take it personal. You can't even like try to figure it out. Like people are just off. Like they're Dahmer vibes.
You know, you
And
you
maybe
know
not to that level,
Right.
where they're like serial killers, but
Right. I was just
like
gonna say,
things that are unexplainable.
you know how when you know if when in a relationship, if a man cheats on the girl, right? The girl starts wailing and crying in the seat of the car, or you won't open the door because she's like yelling outside, or she just goes crazy and starts throwing your shit out. She's never acted like that before, right? There was never any inkling of her taking a bat to your car window, right? That she,
Snap.
yes, she Dahmer vibes, right? The Pandora's box has been opened. We all have that snap ability. You know what I'm saying? It's like suicide. Like what makes a person jump off a building? What makes a person want to take pills, shoot themselves in the head? That's extreme. Cut yourself. It shit hurts, man. Like what makes a human do this to themselves?
I
What makes
think
a human wild out, cry like a baby in the car because you won't take her back? Like she's never done that before. The dude has never smacked you in the face before, but you did this and it made him react like it violently. And he's never done this before. We all have these traits. It's just
yeah.
some of us suppress them better than others.
Or it's just emotions. That
Yes.
that voice is too loud and you
Yes.
listen to it, and emotions could be anger,
Yes. Or
sadness,
yes, emotions. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. I think that really, and then maybe if you have some sort of chemical imbalance, that could,
We all do.
or no, not necessarily, or mental illness.
We all have a potential.
Yeah.
As
Which
humans, we
which
all
is, I
have a
guess,
potential.
which is tied to, I think, emotions.
Yes.
Like I feel like emotional intelligence is more important than a lot of stuff. As
Yes.
far as and self-control. I think having self-control is and discipline
Yes.
is just not highly regarded enough. Like I think we need more of that, to be honest.
And worse repercussions. Like let's say Dahmer survived prison, right? But he had to live in prison without his limbs, and he's just a body. Somebody after him will be like, "Dang, I don't think I should kill or murder. Like, they're gonna cut all your limbs off, and then you're just gonna be like a sack of potatoes in prison, and people want to take your booty hole and do all kinds of things with it because you can't fight them off. You're just a sack of potatoes. You're gonna headbutt them. You gonna hit him with your? You're done. You're a sex doll now. So it's like you maybe if you see that, somebody else will see that. The people who commit all those crimes after him, like maybe if they saw that, there's got to be like better repercussions.
Yeah, but yeah.
And it might not work for everybody. It might not work. I'm just saying,
No,
but
it's true. It's
if
true
you have a
though.
consequence, like for me getting caught stealing, even though I wasn't stealing, but me getting caught made me realize like, man, I don't do this stuff. And then, then you have Michelle, you know, letting me suck a titty. I'm like, man, like what am I stealing for? I'm just gonna focus on I'm about to steal titties. You know what I'm saying? Now my stealing is suppressed, and now I just want to steal titties.
Right. Yeah, and what keeps people from, you know, not wanting to be a serial killer? Because
Consequences.
no, but he got treated so well. Like I'm just saying there's some
What do you
copycat.
mean?
There's like copycat people out here in the world. They're gonna see like this documentary or whatever and be like, dang, he got
Who
treated.
treated him well? What do you mean?
He had fans, dude. People were
What's
sending
that
him
got to do with?
money.
What's that got to do with? That's not treating well.
Yes, it
You
is.
think that's being treated well?
That's more I mean, why would he even get that? Why would you have fans for killing people?
You
You know what
that's
I'm
what you
saying?
get from what I get from that situation. I don't even think about the stupid. I'm gonna say stupid. I don't even think about the fans. I'm thinking about somebody he got marked in jail, in prison, and that's the least part of it. I don't want to go to prison. How
Right, but
about
I'm
that? How
saying
about that
right,
part?
right, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people who are copycatters and like they'll see this and they'll be like, "Oh, man, I can make friends. I could get a pen pal."
No,
Nobody's ever wrote me a letter.
disagree. I disagree.
I don't know, dude. I just found it very crazy that this man got away with all that he got away with. He was also treated like a citizen, in
But
court.
that you think did Gacy have fans?
He probably did.
I don't think so. He's not attractive.
I
He's not
bet you.
tall.
I
He's
bet
pudgy.
you.
No,
Oh, I don't know. That's
I
crazy.
want to Google it, but I don't think so. Ted
Yeah.
Bundy had fans. The what's the name? God, is it Rodriguez? The night stalker or whatever had fans. Dahmer had fans because those last two were tall and had chiseled faces. But the Night Stalker, he had a effed up teeth, and then Dahmer just a goofball. And Ted Bundy was a handsome guy. So
Right.
these are untouchable, handsome or tall, whatever physique wise men. They're all fit. They all have chiseled jaw lines. It's a visual thing.
But I would never, ever see somebody fine and be like, oh, let me write them a letter. Or even like R. Kelly, he's in jail now. Like, I wouldn't write him a letter.
Right?
Like,
Are
what
you
kind of
comparing?
person,
Okay,
what kind of person would do that?
somebody who
I mean, we
doesn't.
already went
You
through
want to
this.
go through that psychosis? Because that's another different psychosis.
Well, yeah, yeah, he's a celebrity or whatever.
No,
And it's
well,
like it's like he has nothing to do, so he could read my letter
right,
finally as a
but
fan.
they're all celebs now, right? Even the serial
Yeah,
killers are all
infamous.
right.
Like
So
Adolf
there's
Hitler
that.
had fans,
There's
like
well, but he had like agenda fans though. It wasn't visual fans. It was agenda. These killers had visual fans.
well, maybe Dahmer
R.
had,
Kelly has visual fans.
but maybe Dahmer had agenda fans because he did kill a gang of black men, and it could be racists that like him. I don't know.
Why is it always that and not white men like black dick and all those black men had better physiques? You ever think about that? And then there's also the dark skin against my white skin. Why do people go to racism all the time? Is it racism if when white girls like black men? Is that racism?
No, I'm just saying that that's why he had fans. Like people were like,
You mean
"Oh,
racist
yay,
fans? Those are called racist
yes."
fans.
Right, that who were excited that maybe, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out rationally, like, why would he have fans?
I mean, if you were to generalize it, I mean, you think he had more women fans or men fans?
I mean, from the doc, it was like women
Right.
mostly.
So it's a visual thing because he's first of all he's homosexual, so he would never give them a time of day, even if they were in public, right? Then there's the fact that he's attractive to the women are attracted to him. That's it, and he's untouchable, and he's a bad boy. That's it.
I
Because to
guess.
me, it's like, why would women still find R. Kelly attractive if he did all that stuff to those young women? They don't care. He's still attractive. Those women who are attracted to them don't know those other women, so it's hard for them to find empathy for those other women because it didn't happen to them, and or they're like, well, I wish he would do it to me, because they're so thirsty. They will never get
Yeah,
him. They will never have him.
right. They were like, you could pee on me, you
Yeah.
could do whatever, do it all, doodle
What if she
on
peed
me.
on me when I was 15?
Yeah, like I don't know. This world is so backwards, bro. Like that's just how I feel.
You know that. We know that already. I'm
This
not
world
saying
is
that.
so
Yes, you
backwards.
watch true crime stuff. Yes, we know this. Yes, people are weird. People are strange
Like there's
when
people
they
out
are
here,
strangers.
there's people have organizations who do good all day long, every day, and can't even get one donation. And this man is a serial killer and he's getting donations. Like that just kind of blew my mind. But I mean, the Bible does say that, things are backwards. Like we're gonna see things back, like things are gonna be one way, but it should be another way, basically.
Yeah,
Things are
and that's what happens
backwards.
with free will. That's what happens.
Yeah, but people need a moral compass, and then people need to be logical or have better experiences.
What
I
if
think
what if
that's
some of
that's
those
it
fans
too.
are religious?
Ooh,
What if some of those fans are religious?
oh, I want to like chain help him.
Yeah,
But and then
well,
that was the other thing too, like his dad. I mean, it's his son. So of course and plus he was very much in denial. But he hurts for his son. He hurts really badly for his son. And I get that. But at some point, I would just be like, my son is a nut. Like, there's no helping him. He's off. Like, but I've never had kids, so I don't know that connection between a parent and a child.
yeah,
But I
especially
would,
a son and a dad. It's like, man, I bonded with my son. It wasn't. I don't think I neglected him, but maybe I did do things wrong. Maybe I pressed him too much, and maybe he probably has a little bit of guilt
but it's like I'm saying after
or a
he's been
lot of
arrested,
guilt.
but after he's been arrested and everything, he's still just kind of like, oh, I hope he gets help.
Yeah, that's his ride or
Like,
die. That's what
your
parents are
son
supposed to
is
do.
crazy. Yeah, I get it. I guess.
Your
I
dad,
would
your
just,
parent, a good parent will always see you as their child, not as a grown up person. They'll always see you as their child. They
yeah,
always
is
want
there,
you to do good. They want you to be better. If you do wrong, do right. If you can,
but how
do your
do
best.
you correct that though? Like,
You do your time.
how do you correct? No, you killed and ate
Yeah.
and
You
burned and bludgeoned
yeah.
so many
You
people.
do your time. Maybe you change in jail. Maybe you find God in jail, or prison. But I mean, he can't do it now, obviously. But maybe that you find
Well, he did.
redemption in
He
jail.
did supposedly in the
Okay,
movie.
then,
They made him go through that process, but
which
I'm just
is
like,
which is
I don't want to see him in heaven. I'm scared.
well, those are your rules. So
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. That right there. That's I got a question for Jesus on that one because I don't
he
know.
makes
He
the
forgives
rules.
us. He forgives all of us,
Yep.
regardless.
Probably Hitler up there too. Manson up there. Bundy
Yeah.
up there. Everybody up there. You
I
know.
don't want to be in that part of heaven.
I mean, that's what you believe.
I'm just being goofy, but it's a lot. It's really a lot. Like you could just totally be in love with somebody, or you think somebody's loving you, and they really just there to chop your head off. Like I'm really skeptical about going out and meeting people,
That's called
even
game.
even more so. No, that is not game. That is scary. Like you
Yeah, but
think that
I got you there. It's game.
yeah, but people have to make better choices in this day and
Yes,
age.
but
Like
they're
there's
not.
no swiping Tinder, there's no just going somewhere randomly meeting a random person. Like I don't know. All that is I'm done with all that. Because I was thinking the
Because you
last
watch Dahmer.
uh
Because you
yes.
watch Dahmer.
I probably shouldn't have watched it because I'm really, but then I started thinking, I'm like, dang, like the last few people that thought me out turned out to be devil monsters
Who thought you out? Like,
who sought me
oh,
out.
who sought you out?
Yeah, who like I had no idea about and then like found me however they did. And then they were just turned out to be
Cuckoo
so
for Cocoa Puffs.
exactly. So it's like you gotta be careful. I guess that's all I'm saying is just be careful for people who seek you out. Because Dahmer did that a lot. And a lot of these types of people seek you out and they don't have good intentions.
Yeah, maybe not go to their house the first
Yeah,
second date.
exactly. Exactly. One night stand, that's all out the window. Or even say going on a trip and you hope you have a hookup. You might be toast. You might be,
Yeah, but no, but who's thinking about that though?
huh?
Who's thinking about that though?
People need to be thinking about that though.
You think you're going to be in Ibiza and not have a one night stand? You're going to go to Miami when you're from Idaho and not have a one night stand. At least try.
But why?
It's human nature. It's
Well, human
excitement.
death. There's human death.
If possible, I could die today after this podcast. I could die going to work.
Right.
How
But
how are we go? How are you going to live life just being so cautious?
no, you can't. But in this day and age, you
People
can't.
do.
You can't just hook up with people, dude.
How?
They might drug you.
What's the percentage of that happening?
I don't know, but it's not wise.
What's the percentage of that happening to you every time you go out?
It's not
Or
wise.
out of 10 times you go out, the
Okay, but what if
11th
that
time
one
that
time? It
happens.
only takes one time to become dissolved by acid.
Yeah, so before that, you're just not going to go out. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to meet people. You're not going to have one night stands.
No, definitely not no one night stand. Not in this day and age.
I mean, for
I
you,
rebuke that. I promise you. I promise you with my whole entire being, I would never do a one night stand in this
dude,
day
how
and
old was
age.
Dahmer? Like 27? How old was he?
Well, he got what, 91, 78. I don't know. He was like,
Late 20s, early
yeah,
30s. Yeah. So he's like young and dumb and trying to come. So he's buck wilding. All these youngins, when they're going places, vacations and stuff, they trying to fuck, they're trying to have fun. No, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody's thinking about repercussions and Dahmer vibes.
yeah, but you
You
better
know,
now. You got
even
to.
now, I would say this. Even now, more of the modern women are doing all that.
Well, they're gonna
They're
end up
fucking.
being filet mignon.
Yeah, but how many though? Not a lot.
I don't care. It's too risky.
Out of 50, maybe one,
I don't know.
right?
I'm just not that desperate. I'm not that much of a
And you're
pleasure
also not in
seeker.
your 20 early, you know what I mean? You're not in your teens, 20s, and 30s though.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's what I'm saying.
I still go on
The
trips.
excitement.
I still go on trips.
I know, but you're not having one night stands. Is
Absolutely
that
not.
that's not it's not exciting to you. It's not exciting to you to deal with new dick and then leaving it alone. You know, a dick that comes with abs, a chiseled body who looks like Jason Momoa. Like you're not there. You're over that. These little girls, these younger girls are going to do that. The inhibitions are out the door.
And these little Negroes.
Yes.
I need to have a conversation with my niece and nephews very soon. Don't have one night stands, you guys. Don't even have sex. Not until you're married. Get married young. No, don't do that either. I don't know. You can't really win for losing,
Can't
man.
win.
I don't know. I think if you even planned and calculated your life out completely perfectly, however you think is perfect, it's gonna go haywire at some point. I just think that's the natural order of life, is that there's crises. Either you cause the drama or it's just a crisis that will happen in your life, in your journey. And you got to be emotionally balanced. You got to have self control and you got to be ready. You got to learn and you just got to hope that you have good experiences because your experiences shape you. Your right and wrong shape your moral compass, and your self control of your ego is so crucial to survive in this world.
You also can't live off of restrictions though either. You just can't live by rules all the time. You got to go out there sometimes and just do shit.
Yeah, maybe when you're young and you don't have anything going for
I mean,
you.
how many businesses were done successful by taking a chance, going through perils?
Calculated
How many? Yeah.
risks.
Well, some business people never took a business class. Trial and error. Same thing with life. How
Right,
many
but a
people went
lot of those
bungee jumping
businesses
and hang
fail.
gliding?
Yeah, but
Sure,
a lot.
but and then a lot of businesses didn't fail. A lot of businesses failed, and then finally won,
Yeah,
and
because you
then stayed
learn.
winning. Right.
Because if you survive and if you have the
Yes.
will to keep going,
Exactly. Yes. There we
things work
go.
out.
Yes. You're proving my
But
point. Yes.
no, rules are very important though. Rules are important because if there's no rules, then you're just out here willy-nilly floating around and not getting anything accomplished.
And then sometimes rules are meant to be broken.
Nah,
Sometimes,
not
sometimes when you
not if
break those rules, you have the best time of your life. Sometimes when you break the rules, you that fun time that you had, that good time you had with your buddies, will always be etched in your in memory, and you'll be glad that you did it.
if you don't go to jail, if you don't get caught up and be with some chick for the rest of your life because you got her pregnant on a one night stand. I mean, there's certain things that you just should not do.
But then, what if that one night stand baby turns into another LeBron James, Elon Musk? You know,
How many LeBron James and Elon Musk are there
how many people have one night stands and have babies?
and did not have a LeBron James or Elon Musk? They had a little
How many?
nincompoop.
How many
They had a
people?
little nincompoop.
How many people went home with somebody and didn't
Woo.
die? How many people had one night stands and didn't die?
Right, but it's still those ratios aren't good enough for me. But hey, people do what they want to do.
People do it. Yeah, exactly.
People do what they want to do and take those risks, but there's just certain risks I'm not willing to take. Not anymore.
Well, we know your character, so yeah.
Like people could really, I don't know, you could really throw it all away for just one fun night.
And then you could have that one fun night,
And
and
that's all
then
it will ever be is
have
one
another fun
memory.
night,
No,
and
it's
then more
all
fun nights, and live again to have another fun night.
right, but there's more to life than having fun. It's true. Like you can't party every single day. You won't get any goals accomplished. You
Who are
can't.
you talking about? Who are you
I'm just
talking
saying in
to?
general. I'm just saying in general.
Who are we? Who are
I'm
what?
talking to people who know, like
Who
who
is
are
this to?
ambitious. I'm talking to people who are like ambitious and want to get like some real things accomplished in life. But there are a lot of people out here. There are a lot of party people. There's a lot of people who want to,
Party it up.
yeah, and be
Have
nowhere
fun.
and have nothing. You don't even party like that. How you
I
gonna tell
did.
people?
And I had a great time. I don't regret any of it.
Right, but not now. Maybe
All the
when you were
drugs, all the
younger.
women, all the places, all the experiences.
when he was younger, folks, not
Yeah,
now.
I'm not doing that now. Why am I doing that now? I want to live in Gilroy.
It
I
just
want
smelled garlic.
I want it quiet in here. I don't
Right,
want no
exactly.
noise.
Okay, we'll preface it that way because, like, dude, when
But
you're
look,
younger,
imagine,
I
imagine.
did heckin' shit when I was
Okay,
younger.
then what are you talking about then?
I'm talking about
Yes,
now.
you have fun in your early ages, no inhibitions, and then when you get old, everything slows down. You get career wise, you get money wise. You probably have kids now. Everything slows down because you had that life. You wild out at your young age. Now it's done. You're done.
My
I'm
life has
done.
not slowed down, but I just don't
You're
do
not doing what you did in your 20s. You've slowed
right.
down.
Yeah,
What are you talking?
no,
Yes.
no, 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 no. I just don't do the relational things I did in my 20s. But life is still fun. Just because you grow older doesn't mean
Yeah,
like life stops.
thing is you do different things when you get older. You know, when you were younger, you were partying. Now when you 30s or 40s, now you're shooting guns in the forest. That's fun to you. When you're going to the firing range, that's fun to you. You know,
Yeah,
and
not
then whether you're
clubbing.
still playing tennis, you're still hitting balls with the bat at the batting cages. You're playing golf now. You didn't play golf in your 20s. Now you're playing golf in your 40s. Things change. Fun things change. You adapt to your environment. You grow. And then some things will still be there. I still play video games.
And they
They'll
have
probably never
better
go away.
video games now.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, they look fantastic.
They had weak ass. Actually, there were some good Nintendo games and stuff.
If you're a gamer,
Oh,
I mean, you just appreciate it anyway. It's not Super Mario Brothers, Frogger. You know,
Zelda.
you Zelda. You appreciate those games for what they were back then. So
I remember when Zelda cartridge was gold. I was like, oh, I
yeah,
thought that was so cool. It's not gray. But anyways, I think we talked this out and
we
into a
rambled
circle.
long enough.
Exactly. 4 hours later. All right, guys. Well,
Thanks for
thanks for
listening,
listening.
guys.
Till next time.
Uh-huh.
No Dahmer vibes.